12-year-old Chris Medeiros runs and kicks, giving his all on the soccer field, always with his older brother Nick in his heart.
He was really a hang loose, take it easy kind of guy. He was just hang loose, easy. He wouldn't worry about many things.
Soccer was something Nick and Chris shared, Nick coaching his brother and other kids. Now Chris plays wondering if Nick is looking down on him as he dribbles down the field. And halfway around the world in Iraq, there are other children who have also been touched by Nick's generous spirit, playing the same sport with shiny new soccer balls.
So every time somebody puts that ball in a child's hand, I can only imagine that smile that comes on the face.
Nick started playing soccer at a young age, and it quickly became his passion.
He wanted to have a team around him. He didn't want to run the team, but he wanted to lead the team by example on the field.
And his senior year of high school, Nick found a new team. His father says he also gave 110% to. Nick joined the Army and headed to Iraq. In July of 2006, Nick came home on leave, showing them tons of pictures of the Iraqi children.
And he says, these people have nothing, and the kids are so happy. And then, of course, he was completely, being the soccer coach that he was, he saw them playing with these tin cans, and he said, you know, if I gave them a soccer ball, wouldn't it be fun to see what they could do with it?
So Nick rounded up as many balls as possible so he could distribute them to the children in Iraq. But sadly, on September 3rd, 2006, at just 19 years old, Nick's life was tragically cut short, killed by a bomb before he had the chance to distribute those soccer balls.
I think I was just in shock, complete shock, because he just had to come home. He was going to come home.
But despite her heartache, Shalini Medeiros says she knew deep down something positive would come out of all her family's sadness. And it did. It's called Kicked for Nick, and it was started by a stranger. A fellow veteran, Ken Dartley, approached the family and asked if they could set up a net in Wilton, Connecticut to collect soccer balls and carry out Nick's mission.
And before we knew it, we had almost 500 soccer balls.
And those balls just kept coming. The group has sent some 12,000 balls over to the troops, donated from around the country.
I asked everybody that's invited to my bar mitzvah. I wrote a letter to everybody to bring a soccer ball.
The troops feel that they are now connecting better with the local people.
Touching Iraqi parents by helping their children.
Could be somebody from here. They all feel the same about their kids.
Bill says a parent's love is like a universal language. He and his family signing his son's name on each ball so his loving legacy will live on.
Sometimes you wish you could just walk away from it because it keeps getting refreshened in your memory every time you get soccer balls in or something. But we don't want his memory to die, so we keep going.
Using a crutch, a cane, and all of his strength, Corporal Christopher Levy concentrates on each movement as he walks up the stairs. Slowly and carefully, he lifts the prosthetic legs one at a time and places them on the steps.
You did it. Good job.
Successfully making it up the steps of the amputee training building at Walter Reed Medical Center.
Because you have to pull forwards pretty much from your hip as opposed to your knee. And when you pull forwards with your hip, it engages toe load. And from the toe load, it'll actually engage the whole process of bending the knee and swinging the leg for you.
It's now part of Chris's daily routine, learning to do something he used to do every day without thinking, before March 17th of this year.
It came right through the front of me and took my legs off and actually threw them to the other side of the truck.
Chris's Humvee was hit by a roadside bomb in Iraq while he was traveling in a convoy to pick up a detainee.
I looked for my weapon, and my weapon had actually got bent into the truck. So it was kind of ripped in half with my legs. So I didn't have a weapon, I didn't have legs, and I couldn't even open my door because I didn't have a hand to open the door with.
Chris says his fellow soldiers acted quickly, one helping to stop some of the bleeding in the truck until help arrived. He was taken to Germany and then back to the States to Walter Reed, where he's been working hard to recover ever since.
Once I decided to raise money for the Wounded Warrior Project, I wanted to make a pretty extreme effort. Initially, I had to run a 50-miler to qualify for the 100. The 50-miler, it wouldn't have been too bad if I had a slight injury on my leg, so I couldn't do anything for about 5 weeks before the 50. So it was a little painful at the end, but I got through it and under the time where I wanted to get through it, which was under 10 hours. And you know, when I got done, I felt good, and my wife said to me as soon as I came across the finish line, 50 more to go. I've always had a desire to help out the troops that are coming home from Iraq and Afghanistan right now, seeing some of their wounds that they've received, and reading about them in the newspaper for the last several years. I felt as though I needed to contribute in some way. I kind of take it as every day now in the life of a severely wounded troop coming home from Iraq and Afghanistan, every day is their 100-mile run. Every day is that type of challenge for them, to assimilate themselves back into society and to prepare them for their future, as well as dealing with the hardships that their families have to deal with. So far, I've received quite a bit of support. About $25,000 I've raised thus far, and a lot of that I'd have to thank the Clarkstown Police Department. They've really helped me out, gave me a lot of support. You know, my wife and kids, they have to contribute as well, as I'm off running at 4 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I don't come home until noon. Looking at it from a third party's perspective, I personally would be inspired. I'm nervous and excited, looking forward to the gun going off and getting on my way.